Hey, Peace Nation. Welcome back to the channel, family. Anybody that's new here, please subscribe, comment, share the video if you like. Hey, family, when you come in the door, please wipe your feet by hitting the thumbs up button. I really appreciate it. Hitting the like button is very important to us. I want to say, look, I'm back and like sooner than most times. So yeah, I'm trying to do better. I'm going to really try to do better. Please don't judge me. I'm living life like, oh my God. But I really want to do this YouTube thing. And with that being said, I don't want to just react to IAG farms. I do want to show part of my life. That's not a problem. But I want to do other content. And if there's anything that you like me to react to, me to talk about, please put it in the comments. I would love to do the research and talk about other things because there's more to life than Tim and Megan and the boys. Like, oh my God. Anyway, welcome to the channel, people. Thank you for being here, spending your time with me. I really appreciate you taking time out of your day to spend with me. I want to say thank you to all the comments. I want to say thank you for all the well wishes and everybody that is so happy that I made it to South Carolina safely. I'm home with my peeps. Yeah, my peeps say they haven't seen me that much because I'm an introvert. I keep trying to tell y'all that, but people don't believe me. I'm a stay-at-home person. I would stay at home, work in this yard, work on this house, and never really interact. That's just who I am, but I'm trying to come up out of that. These glasses keep slipping. So, let's talk about this trilogy. You know, IAG Farms, the Resurrection Ranch, the Godcast. What is going on? The only difference in the Godcast and the other two channels is that Tim is ranting about us, the people who react. He's going to try to say he's not, but he is. Tim is doing too much. Tim wants to be, like I said before, a movie star. That's why he has these three channels. The reason my theory about why his mom no longer has the Resurrection Ranch is several things. It could be one of several things, or it could actually be all three, really. Miss Lily was tired of the broken promises. Her family was tired of the way they were seeing her being mistreated, and Tim was jealous. Yes, jealous of the response she was getting. And then I'm going to tell you something else that he noticed, and I think some of you might have missed this. Even though we talked about it, nobody is saying this might be why she's not doing the channel. Tim was getting money and gifts for that channel. The only gifts we saw was a couple of things that showed the Lakers on them because there was no way he could keep that. And then the cross that says Amazing Grace. I wonder how many other things were sent to her. I wonder how much money was sent to her. I wonder how many super thanks and chats that she got. Because you know when a channel's monetized, even if you're watching it later, you can go ahead and hit super thanks and send money. I wonder how much Tim never told her was meant for her. Because anybody who sent money to that channel was sending it solely for Miss Lily and to help her on her journey. And Tim realized his mother was more popular than him. He couldn't take that. Tim is selfish. Tim thinks the world should revolve around him. So of course he's not going to think anybody else should shine other than him. That's why he does Megan the way he does her and the way he does the boys. Because they can't shine. Why do you think the boys' education is so poor? Tim doesn't want those boys to be further ahead of him than in education. Megan has dumbed her education down. She's speaking like Tim now. She's acting like Tim. And unfortunately, she's going along with everything Tim is doing. And that's why we no longer feel sorry for her. Megan is a co-conspirator, and she is so into boosting Tim and his ego that she is willing to dumb down her own vocabulary and not teach the boys properly the way they should be speaking. Because they are not allowed to outshine their dad. That's why you notice that, okay, the boys was always saying good. That would have been something for Noah, but not for Tim Jr. Titus Midway but not a lot. And Megan's new thing is amazing. Amazing. Because that's the only thing Tim understands. Tim's education level is poor. And understand this, I don't think that it's the state of Mississippi's fault. It's because Tim didn't want to know anymore. Tim didn't want to know how to do anything but run the streets and thug and get high. And that education that he got in the jailhouse is bare minimum. They don't care if you don't know everything. They will give you that diploma and send you on your way. Tim, come on. You said that your wife was teaching you how to say certain words and the meanings. You're not really listening, because then you still got it wrong. You're still misapplying the words. So it's okay to know the word and know its meaning, but now you need to know how to use the application of the word. And that's part of what's going on with the boys. The boys don't know how to use the proper application of words. I'm sure Megan has taught them other words, but they are not able to put it together because they're listening to their father speak one way. Their schooling is only so long. They spend more time doing chores and out with those animals than they do with schoolwork. Because when they're not doing the animals, they're watching Benjamin. Megan is outside a lot with Tim, and Benjamin's not out there most of the time. And I have never seen a baby monitor hooked to her head, because it's okay to leave your child in the house if your child is asleep, but you need to have a monitor attached to you so that you hear when the child stirs. So now you know, oh, I got to go because baby is up. Baby's moving around. No, nobody expects you to be there 24 hours hovering over Benjamin. But you need a monitoring system so you know, and the boys shouldn't be the monitoring system. They're little children. They should be living their best life. But we won't even discuss that anymore because it's crazy. But, it's just so much going on this channel. Like, you got a whole camper that you only paid $200 for, and your husband didn't renovate it properly for y'all to live in. But now you're going to renovate it to sell it? How much are you going to sell it for? I mean, you don't think it's good enough for somebody else because you thought it was good enough for you and your 3 babies. You thought that wooden dirty floor, because you might as well say dirt floor, because it's trash, was good enough for your children. And now you're talking about, oh yeah, we're not going to have to invest that much money. It's been 2 weeks and we ain't invested time yet. How old are these videos? You keep telling on yourself. Give your viewers fresh content. You said Tim always has the camera in his hand. Tim said he's always editing. Why is each thing you've done taking weeks to come out? And then they don't even come out in order. Tim has so many videos filmed of your family that he doesn't even put them in order. That's why we can see you working on that camper and see the barn painting. And then he wants to come back later and put out a video about painting the barn. That's backwards. That's asinine. You power wash the trailer, the camper thing, but then he says he's got to buy a power wash 4 days later. What are y'all doing? You're cheating your people. You're robbing your subscribers, those who truly support you, who really want to walk with you through your journey. Take them on your journey as it happens. If Tim is up every night to 2, 3, 4 o'clock in the morning editing, what is he editing? How many videos have y'all done that nobody has seen? And there's nothing wrong with you storing up content if you're not showing the progress of something being done. Get that? Like, okay, if I want to react to a different channel and I did a video on it, and say I want to just talk about briefly what happened, and I put that video on the back burner, even though other people has talked about it, that's one thing. And I wouldn't put it on the back burner for 2 or 3 weeks. It might be a couple of days. Listen, today is Monday, June 8th. Isn't it the 8th? Can't be the 9th yet. June 8th. And I am doing this video on you. This video will come out this evening. I'm not going to play about the content, not showing people what's going on. Like, that's crazy. I don't react to every one of your videos. I don't think anybody should, because the truth of the matter is all you're doing is talking in circles. Megan did a whole video in that camper, and for the first 15, 20 minutes of that video, Megan talked in circles, repeating herself. To stretch the video time out, that's crazy. Say what you're doing and move to the next thing. Oh, and I gotta say this. Y'all nasty. Your husband is a punk. I said it. I'm not gonna say allegedly. He's a punk. He ran from a spider. But that's not the biggest thing. You had a whole mouse in there while you was cleaning. You're going to come back to the camera and say, I was so busy with the spider, I didn't even notice the rat. The rat was the biggest thing down there. But you're used to them. I get it. I see you. I see you for who you are. And that's why I don't feel sorry for you anymore. You are really, Tim is what you deserve. You got what you asked for. Live with it. Don't come crying later, because I'm going to tell you, you're going to be crying. Tim is going to change up even worse on you. Unfortunately. Tim is going to do you so dirty. And except for your diehards, nobody's going to feel sorry for you. Nobody. Because you are going along with all this foolishness Tim is doing in the name of God, and you're going to come on here and tell us that you had to get out of religion because being in religion was holding you back. Girl, bye. You was a whole missionary. You had a successful life. The only thing you didn't have was a husband and children. And in time, they would have came if you'd have waited on God. But you rushed to take this man who you knew was a criminal. And you thought you was going to change him. That's what you thought. You thought that you could be a good enough woman that you could change Tim. Megan, we can't change each other. We can only change ourselves. And that's what you did. You changed who you was to be with him. And it's sad because what you've done is you are putting your relationship with the true God on the back burner to do whatever Tim wants you to do. And it's sad because God is a jealous God. He's jealous. Put no one before me. I'm a jealous God. And you have made Tim your God. Every time you say, oh, the Lord told me or the Lord spoke to me, we know Tim was the one speaking to you. Because God ain't going to give you a dream, a vision, a purpose, and not help you work it out, not have where you can't do it, so that you can come back. Because when this trailer mess fall apart, these resurrection campers that idea fall apart, y'all going to say God told y'all to move on to a different season. Stop playing with God, please. Anyway, whatever. Y'all do what y'all want to do. That's life. Me and God good. Okay? I listen. I listen so much that's why I'm not in a relationship. I'm not in a relationship because I don't want a man who is about himself. I want a man who's going to be invested in God for real. Not this play stuff where he's throwing Jesus at me all the time and throwing the Bible at me all the time. But have a real relationship with God where he treats me the way God wants me to be treated. See, because Tim is not even treating you the way God wants a woman to be treated. When Eve was made and taken from Adam's rib, what did Eve have to do? Nothing. Everything was here. God gave her a man that had already provided everything. Meaning, God provided the space, He provided the plants and the animals, but Adam had to do the naming of the animals and take care of the garden. You, woman, didn't have to do anything but just help him do it. But you like having a man that's treating you like you're his slave. And those boys, can y'all please stop? Stop saying you're going to build the biggest, baddest porch ever on this single wide old trailer. If you want to build anything, expand the side of the trailer where the boys' bedroom is and give them more space. And get that classroom from out of that room that it's in. Let them children have space. And Tim talking about, oh, in 3 to 5 years, now it's up to 7 years. First of all, you've been out there for 3 years. Because it's been 3 years that Tim's been working on that barn. Noah was 2.5 going on 3, and Noah is 6. What happened to the timeline? He keeps stretching it out? Because it went from then being 3 to 5 years to now it's 3 to 7 years all over again. Give them children some space. Just because Tim was in prison, living in a little cell with a bunk bed with someone else, doesn't mean those children want to live like that, and they shouldn't have to. They have not committed a crime where they're being punished. You want to know how they're being what they're being punished for? That you chose their father. Now stand up for your children. Do right by them. Make this man do what he's supposed to do for these children. Before he bought that zero turn, that grass was getting cut. Tim wasn't doing anything else. He doesn't have a job. So if it takes you 4 days to cut this, fine. You don't have a job anyway. Build your children a bigger space. Give your children some more room. Those boys shouldn't be cramped up in there like they're in a jail cell. Are you crazy, lady? We know he's crazy, and I'm not going to say allegedly. This man is out of his mind because he thinks all this is okay. And unfortunately, you're beginning to think this is okay. And you're going along with everything Tim is doing, and I feel so sorry for your children. Tim says his neighbors watch the channel. When he came on here before and said one of the subscribers called Children's Services, you never thought it might have been one of the neighbors? Because I'm starting to wonder that. The way y'all keep that property, the way they see those children out there working, and if they're watching the channel, they see the way those children are working. I wouldn't be surprised if it wasn't your good old neighbors right next to you who call CPS. And I think that's why Tim didn't want to press charges. Because if you truly found out who it was, I bet you it was one of those neighbors. And you figured, oh, let's let it go because we don't want to cause a conflict out here with our neighbors. We'll just do things differently. But everything you're showing, if CPS walked out there right now and saw those boys working in that filth that they're working in, see knives on their side, the way you've got them pulling that cart and stuff around with all that hate, CPS would have a problem. And if you think that CPS ain't going to have a problem eventually with those 4 boys being in that little room, they would have a problem. There's not enough space. The children have no personal space. When they go outside together. They can't walk off and just be on the property by themselves. Noah can't go in one direction, Titus go in the other, and little Tim go in the other direction. You want them all to stay together. So they have no personal space. Everybody needs personal space. Give it to them. Put another bedroom on that trailer if you want to build something. I say go ahead and just get a double wide because that's what you want with your mama's trailer anyway. I think that you want to make your mother so uncomfortable that she walks away. But if I was her, listen, Miss Lily, if you're watching, if you decide to leave from out there, sell Tim and them the trailer. And not for what you paid, but for everything you had to put into it. Sell it to them and go back to your family. Don't let Tim and Megan use you anymore, because the only reason they wanted you out there was to use you to build a channel. And Megan was jealous. Megan was jealous that y'all went and found a double wide for you when Tim gave her and her 3 boys a single wide. Well, Megan, that's all you deserved, because that's what you was used to. Hell, you let him put you in a $200 camper that was falling down everywhere and no walls and the floors are nasty. So of course Tim will give you that. To Tim, this is a palace to you. And his mother went and got a double wide. And you know what you said? The nerve of her. What does she need with all this space? Why she need this big? This would have been perfect for us. We'll make your husband buy you one. You said you got another piece of property. Take Emma and move Emma to the other property and pull you a double wide there. Or if you don't want to live where you're living at anymore and you don't want to move Emma, put a double wide on that other property. You can use this property. You can literally hire a caretaker for the animals and have them live in the trailer on the property and take care of the animals. Give them a salary. Then the boys don't have to be out there like that, and they don't have to be cramped the way they're cramped. But that's your business. Peace Nation, you know I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening to me rant about these people. But I think that Tim is playing in our faces. I really do. I think Tim thinks this is a whole joke. Tim is so happy that he found a legal way to scam people he doesn't know what to do with himself. He's like, oh, thank you, God. But what God? Which God? You know there are many gods, but there's only one true God. So yeah, I love y'all. Please, if you didn't hit the like button on your way in, please hit it on your way out. If you'd like to share the video with someone, do so. Definitely leave me a comment. I really enjoyed talking to y'all today. We will probably do another video, if not tomorrow, the day after, because I want to show y'all what I want to do to this yard. Like, oh, I need some real advice, because I was showing y'all the backyard the other day, but I think that I'm going to do some things differently when it comes to the way that yard is going to get done. But I love you. Peace out.